Good evening, spirits and specters, and welcome to a very, very special episode of Blood from a Stone, one celebrating that creepiest of holidays, Thanksgiving. Hi, my name's Philip. I'm the Dread Master for this game, and with us we have a single player tonight, because in Call of Cthulhu, we are able to, It's kind of set up, basically, that you can really run some really good one-on-one games, and I'm super excited to do so. So Liv is here. Hello, Liv.
Hello.
And Liv will be playing Siobhan. I don't know if you've been watching us recently, as we've kind of had a major change here in Blood from a Stone, but we have shifted to a completely different domain of dread, and we are following some new characters who are in a bit of a more slow burn gothic horror setting, although things started getting pretty creepy at the end of last week's session. One of the players had a brief moment of lacking sanity, and witnessing this, Siobhan had to excuse herself and rush out. So, she has gone to seek the water. And we will begin with her as she sort of leaves this group who have come to a small town kind of in the north of an area called Merkshire, a town called Thatchford cum Laugrave. And as she rushes out from, they are here to investigate a missing member of the Order of the Opal Octopus. They are here to sort of find out what happened. They were in the room of an inn called the Sixpence a Head. They found some clues, but not enough to give them a clear path forward. Siobhan, however, has had to run off. I suppose other notable things that happened last time, not that all these will really come up in today's session. Upon arriving, they did meet a dashing nobleman. His name is Ulysses Cravengate, and he did say that Siobhan and the others could come and stay with him at his manor house called Bitter End. That is a few miles from this town of Thatchford, where they currently find themselves. He was waiting for a young woman. In fact, he thought that one of Siobhan's traveling companions, Sarah Quill, he thought that she might have been Polly, but she was not. And when members of this group suggested that perhaps something ill might have befallen Polly, this gentleman sort of realized, oh yes, perhaps I should go seek her out, as she's not from this village. So he went to sort of go looking for her. But they have a standing invitation to come to his home and look at the Dark Lords and Ladies flowers that he has pressed, a flower that has not been seen in some time. So we will begin that story in a moment, but I have a special invocation today that's kind of just a timely last minute. This is a meta invocation. This is not about this specific story we're telling, but I'm just going to have to do this on today. And it will simply be this. No, not one man, no, nor 10 men, nor 100 can assuage me. I will have you, and I will get him back even as he gloats. In the meantime, I'll practice on less honorable throats. And my Lucy lies in ashes, and I'll never see my girl again, but the work waits. I'm alive at last, and I'm full of joy. That is from Sweeney Todd, Stephen Sondheim. But for today's invocation, that is a sad thing. Yes, Stephen Sondheim, fantastic. I suppose, yes. Stephen Sondheim. Well, in any case, for today's invocation, this is the invocation for Merkshire for today. From childhood's hour I have not been as others were. I have not seen as others saw. I could not bring my passions from a common spring. From the same source I have not taken my sorrow. I could not awaken my heart to joy at the same tone. And all I loved alone. So, Siobhan,
Yes.
You have gone rushing out of this inn, into this town. It is cloudy and dark, pretty late into the afternoon. No rolls required. You certainly understand where the nearest bodies of water are. There does seem to be a pretty sizable brook that kind of runs alongside this town. It heads into a forest, and this is a thick wood. Crossing through this wood would take one to the town of Laugrave, where you're going. To go north from here, the brook seems to lead in the general direction that this man, Ulysses Cravengate, said his home of Bitter End is located. Where do you want to go in relation to town? Do you want to go into the wood? Do you want to go north? Do you want to get to the water just here in town?
Well, I don't want to do it here in town. But I don't think I would want to go into the wood, so you said the brook goes up near his home?
The brook kind of continues to the north, and there's some wood. It's not just totally out in the open, but it's not going into this thick, dense wood that you've been warned of. So if you head to the north,
yes.
As you sort of move with some speed, you have an odd sensation.
Okay.
Once you kind of get past sort of the main strip of town, there's a few houses here or there, but you don't see anyone. The place seems very empty. Obviously, you're in a hurry, so you're not necessarily tarrying, but you feel no prying eyes on you. And after about 5 minutes of kind of moving with some purpose, you can't even see any of the structures anymore. And you are now moving across sort of light woodland. There's a babbling brook. You heard it, you've come to it, and after a few minutes you can see no one. You hear nothing but the water.
Do I step into the water?
You can. Are you going to just I mean, you can, you're probably in like a dress of some kind, but you can
right,
because
I felt like compelled to get to the water, right? Like I had to get
here. I mean, this happens periodically. You need you need to take a breath.
Okay, yeah, so I'm going to take my shoes off and hike my dress up and just like step into the brook.
Understood. It is certainly extremely relaxing to you. It's as the water kind of rushes over your skin, although, truth be told, this is not really, I mean, it's definitely better than nothing, but this is not how you want to sort of calm yourself. Nevertheless, why don't you just make a power roll, just as you kind of try to center yourself.
Okie dokie, power roll time.
All right, so Siobhan's 25. Ooh, yes, you are able to, just from putting your toes in, you are able to calm yourself. The compulsion is gone. You are calmed and you kind of come back to your own mind. And there's a peaceful moment here. You don't feel like you need to go into the water. You're fine still in your dress. You're fine still in your feet. And
squishing the dirt and rock under.
Squishing the dirt in these
runs over.
Toes are weird, aren't they?
Toes are very weird.
They're weird. It's a weird way to ambulate. But you're there for a few moments and you return to a sense of calm. Then you hear a splash about 30, maybe 40 feet upriver from where you are.
Okay.
Could just be salmon or
Can I see what it is?
make a
Can I
spot
try and
hidden.
see?
Make a spot hidden roll. That
Okay.
old chestnut.
Oof, that one's a harder roll.
That is a harder roll, sadly.
Oh, but I rolled an 11.
Hey, that's great with an 11. Oh, and by the way, if you did not already, the other one was power. That's right. So go ahead and click your checkbox on
Yes,
spot
thank
hidden,
you for reminding me.
and as you glance over, you see two things
Yes.
with your 11, because that actually for you is an extreme success. The first thing you see is that on sort of the shore, hanging from some trees, on the other side of this brook, about 50, 60 feet away, kind of like thin and not super visible, seems to be a frock, a dress, that has been hung up.
A dress of frogs?
A frock, sorry.
Oh, frock. I thought you said a frog.
There's a
Like
frog. A frog is hanging by its neck.
Well, we had frogs in the other
That
game.
is true.
Okay, so a frock, a dress.
A frock, a dress. A dress is hanging from a tree, kind of slung over a branch. It's white and it's just kind of almost blending in, but as it's getting darker, you're able to kind of pick it out, and it's not just some other function of the forest. The other thing you see, however, is that under the water, about 40 feet from you, there is a figure. And you see kind of this, like, red, long hair just sort of spreading out.
I'm going to very tearfully approach this figure in
With
the
your
water.
feet kind of going over the stones and
But
the
like
wet
very slowly and trepidatiously.
under there. You get to the water, and you sort of peer down, and the figure is like kind of there's a darker or a deeper and darker area, but this figure is down probably about 10 feet or so. And as you're sort of peering over, you do see a face look up at you. And it's a face that you recognize.
No.
It's a face you've seen a long time ago, and not for years thereafter, except for in your dreams, or perhaps in strange waking moments like these. She stares at you for a moment and then turns back down, and the ripples in her hair, it goes from being kind of like a pure red to this kind of orangey red. And it's just kind of fanning out.
Is it you?
There's no response.
Can I reach down and try to touch her?
You can. Now you will get wet. If you kind of, like she's a few feet below, so you'd have to kind of get further into the water. But you can certainly touch her. She seems to just be there.
Can I call out her name?
Sure. As you sort of cry out.
Mama,
more
is
loud.
that you?
There is no reply at all. The body is just kind of rocking slightly. The hair, now very orange in color, just kind of fluttering under the waves.
I'm going to start getting closer to her to try and see, shake her and see if it's really her.
Understood. You sort of reach down. You're getting, at this point, probably some of your dress is getting wet on the bottom and your arm is, but if you sort of reach down, as soon as you touch her, she jolts, startled. And bubbles are just pouring off of this figure. And you see that she seems to be wearing kind of like a pretty thick wool just like a thick wool almost suit, kind of like a bathing costume. But as she sort of thrashes, she kicks off the bottom, and there's kind of like a cloud of silt. And she's pulling away. Are you trying to like hold on to her or anything? Or
Yeah.
in that case, we will
pulling
need...
away. Then I would be grabbing her and trying to hold on to her.
Perfect. And you guys, there's no penalty die because I am looking at your size modifier. Yep.
What am I rolling?
Build 0. So yes, I need for you to roll. Now you're actually pretty good at this. I need you to roll a brawl.
Oh yay! Okay.
You're simply trying to sort of do this. She, however, will be rolling a dodge. So if she is basically, if you both have the same level of success, the tie goes to her.
Where does brawl on here?
It's fighting brawl. Sorry.
Oh, okay, fighting. And then I was like, I don't see it under B. All right.
Yes, that is Ooh, she rolled very low, actually.
79.
A 79. So you do a regular success. I have rolled a 17 for her, which is actually a hard success. So she is able to dodge out of your way, and is swimming now, kind of like under the water frantically, away from you.
Rana, why are you leaving? No. Like I'm calling out after her to try and get her to stop.
Excellent.
And I'm just gonna run after her.
So you kind of just are going fully into the water now, sort of swimming after her. It's not hard for you to do. You swim and you're catching up with her. She seems to be a very good swimmer, but she's not moving kind of as insanely as you would expect her to. She isn't just cutting through. You see her legs like practiced, but sort of flailing her arms. She is now surfacing, and this kind of orange hair, kind of a crown behind her, you're only really seeing her from behind, but she's like climbing her way out, looking back, and the face that you see look back is not that of Brona. Someone else. She's sort of scrawnier, her eyes a little sunken. It's a face you've never seen before, but she is just kind of has this like wild, fearful sight, and now you are fully in the water, just completely submerged as you're almost catching right up to her, right. Not even held back by the huge Victorian skirt on your dress as you're able to propel yourself, but she is she's looking at you with like terror, this kind of like small woman with kind of the it's interesting, these bathing costumes in the Victorian era, which I've been researching a lot this week, are like they're like designed to not be form-fitting. They seem like they're not aerodynamic in the slightest. They're like designed to have big, like floppy limbs around them. So it's kind of an odd look, but just, even though she seems very small, and as she's pulling out, she's just looking at you in terror.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were someone else. Why didn't you respond when I spoke to you?
She kind of like sits up kind of on the side of the bank. You're just in the water here. Your dress is honestly billowing up kind of around. Yeah. She's like, I'm sorry, miss. I did not hear you. I was under the water.
You looked like you were in distress.
No,
I thought you were.
I was just getting a bit peace for a moment. Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. You just looked like someone I know. I guess I'd get like out of the water.
Sure. On her side, on the far side.
Yeah.
Now. Okay. She kind of, you see her actually make a psychology roll. There's kind of she's like moving slightly but not completely. There's something.
Yeah, I rolled a 57.
57. Yeah, you're not quite sure. She seems very trepidatious. She moves back and forth, but basically she now stands and kind of, with her wet garment just around her, and you also sort of climb out of water, just sopping wet in a full traveling gown. I'm sorry if you thought I was in trouble. I'm not. I was just I'm a diver. So I was
you
just
spend a lot of time under the water.
So I'm sorry. I was just I'm
Have
probably
you ever encountered a woman who looks like you?
who looks like me.
Yes,
No.
maybe a little.
No. And as you sort of see her now, the hair color is probably the only resemblance,
Lord.
and it's not even the same shade. But she kind of, I don't, sorry. Are you alright?
I just, you looked a bit like my sister.
Oh. That's nice, I suppose. Is she around here?
No.
Oh. I'm sorry. I'm Polly.
Oh, you're Polly. We met a man who was looking for you at the
Oh.
inn.
I don't, I'm supposed to be there, but I'm not. I feel a little odd about it. Not quite sure what he wants.
Is he dangerous?
I don't know, I never met him. He's rich though, isn't he?
Yes. How did you come to be arranged to meet with him if you've never met him?
He's sort of a diver. So, I come.
Mhm.
My father's a diver, but he couldn't come, so he sent me. My brother's not as good as I am. He was going to send one of them anyway, but then, one of my brothers got in a fight, so he couldn't come. He got his jaw basically cracked open because he was fighting, because he was drunk. So, he sent me.
Well, what does he need a diver for?
Oh, we don't know. But my father doubts he wants anything untoward with me because he didn't know I'd be a girl till I'm here.
Well, he knew you were coming, and I'm pretty sure he knew you were.
Oh, but he didn't ask for a girl. Yeah?
Well, I suppose I don't know.
You think he wants something untoward with me?
That I don't know. I mean, if he didn't ask for a girl, then I'm assuming he didn't have any nefarious intent, but a woman traveling on her own needs to be very careful. Your father didn't send you with any sort of companion?
Nah, my brother, he split his jaw.
Well, I know, but there was no one else, like an uncle or a...
Nah.
I just know that very awful things can happen to young ladies who travel on their own.
Well, yeah, I mean, my father don't worry about me too much. He sends me diving after all. I mean, he knows I'm good, but if I were to be drowned...
There's monsters in the water than there are on land.
Oh, well, I don't know about monsters. I just know about getting tangled up and drowning.
That too.
I'm sorry you were startled by me. I'm sorry, I thought I was your sister.
I wasn't expecting to see anyone else in the water.
Yeah, usually just me in the water. Are you from these parts?
No, not quite.
Well, do you think I should go and meet this man? This heir apik.
If he was hiring you for a job, but you should... I could go with you if you want companionship, so you're not alone.
Oh, perhaps.
I don't really like being alone either, so...
Oh, but you're all wet now.
Well, yeah, And I chased you away from your dress, didn't I?
Oh no, her dress is just she's just, can like walk over to it.
Okay.
She definitely by this point seems much less sort of worried by you.
Okay.
And you definitely get the sense that the story you've told is one that has satisfied her. She goes over to her dress and starts sort of talking to you, and in the corner of your eye, you do see another figure, red-headed in the water, staring at you for a moment.
If I close my eyes and open them again, will I still see it?
You close your eyes. You wait a few moments. You open them again. Nothing there. And at this point, Polly is kind of just, chatting about her journey, and she's kind of, wringing out her other garments, preparing to put her frock back on. It is kind of late, so it's there's not really any sun now, and it's pretty chilly, but she's kind of, she's not shivering as much as you might expect. She's probably used to kind of being in cold water, but it's still, still pretty chill. But she kind of begins putting her garments on, and she's just talking to you about her journey and about her trip and everything.
Well, I suppose this will have to do for me, unless there's somewhere where I can get a dry dress.
Perhaps there's a shop in town.
We could do that. Make a quick stop, and then take you to meet with your patron, I guess.
Okay. Well, and she kind of starts, heading back to town along her side of the brook. There's, there were probably some crossings here or there that she probably did, because she was on, the far side by the time you met her. As you begin going back through the woods, it is getting darker. And what, let me see, is your skill in? Actually, you're better than average at listening. So you do hear footsteps kind of moving through the forest. Kind of pretty quickly, from the other side of the river, sort of charging. Polly seems to be walking on completely oblivious. But you are fairly confident someone is coming. If you want to listen more closely, you can make the roll.
Can I listen? I was going to listen more closely.
Go. You kind of do the pause and even the hold up a hand. Go ahead and make a listen roll.
36.
36. I believe that is a regular success. Yeah. So you so go ahead and click listen. You have succeeded at listen, and as you're kind of turning and listening across, you hear heavy footsteps running, and you hear a voice you are familiar with, a voice you've heard not too many times in life, but in death, a voice you remember very carefully. A voice saying, saints alive, where's that blasted woman? You glance across, and you see charging out of the woods sort of this sharp-faced man. Dark hair, freckles. He's very tall, attractive in his way, but just absolute scum in his heart. He carries in his hand, kind of torn and wrinkled, this cap almost identical to the one you're wearing, made of salmon skin. And he glares across the water at you.
Sugars.
Polly says, "Ooh?"
We need to get out of this area now.
And she points to the man and says, "Who's that then?"
That's a very dangerous man, and he's the one who killed my sister.
What? And then the gentleman says, I can't hear you, I'm sorry. Miss, I believe I just met you at the inn there. Are you, Siobhan, was that your name? I'm so sorry. You blink
What?
a couple times, and the gentleman across from you is Ulysses Cravengate. He has his walking stick. Are you okay?
Nothing. I thought you were someone else. Apparently I'm doing a lot of that tonight.
Who is he? She says to you.
That is, I believe, the man you were supposed to be meeting this evening.
She turns to you, very serious look on her face. He killed your sister?
No. Someone else did. Apparently I maybe need to get my eyes checked for some spectacles. Or the water got into my brain. I don't know.
Ulysses Cravengate at this point he's kind of pretty competently, kind of getting over some rocks, and he kind of comes to your side and says, "Oh yes, Siobhan, I hope you're doing all right. It is.
Yes, just had a bit of a fright, and
You see, did you fall into the water?
It fell. Willingly jumped in trying to save the woman. What?
Oh my!
Fine. She was fine. It was my fool's errand.
You seem. Are you sure you're right? He kind of leans to you, and for a moment, he smells just like that Fergus seemed to smell. That sort of scent of, like, whiskey and ash. Quicklime.
I'm fine.
He...
Found Polly here.
Oh, Polly. Well, it's good to see you, it seems. Hello. She kind of awkwardly half bows to him, not really sure how to interact. Something is very strange right now, Siobhan. You can feel it. It's not the first time you've had moments where people seem like they're not who they are.
Or I suspect that he might not be like who he is, or that there's something wrong with him.
You absolutely may do that. I would say, given how much you have seen, you have two options. One is going to put your mind at ease, but it can have negative consequences. That is called to make a reality check. What you do is basically you are going to try to perceive if reality is real or not. If you fail, you do lose a sanity point. But if you succeed, you have a much firmer grasp of what is and is not real.
Okay.
Or you could do like an occult roll, or even a mythos roll. You could kind of there's no real like threat to those, but you can just be like, is this something I've got a sense of? Is this a thing I understand? Or you could just do a psychology roll if you wanted to kind of just get his intentions, but that would have no sort of
how hard is it to do a
rest.
reality roll? Because my occult and mythos aren't great either.
A reality check is simply a sanity roll. So roll a d100. Your sanity is 60. So you have a better odds than not.
I've actually got better odds with a sanity roll.
Very good.
Oh boy, here we go.
Come on. It's the 26th session, so let's get some nat 13s in here. Come on.
I rolled a 6.
A 6. So and there's no degrees of success on a sanity roll. You simply sort of do it. But you very clearly, you kind of take a deep breath, and you can still sort of smell something that's not here. You still almost see like an after image of something that's not here. You hear a splash in the water. You know it's not there. You understand that you are seeing ghosts, but they do not appear to be connected to these people who are next to you. You have the knowledge, you have the understanding of things that something is playing tricks on you.
Ghosts.
Something is. You've stepped somewhere, and something is aware of you, and something is intentionally pulling you this way and that. You are not going crazy. You are being shown things. You kind of come back to yourself for a moment, and he's talking to Polly, and she's kind of she is smiling a little and like not looking him in the eye. He's a very good looking guy. Kind of go to whatever you're if you whatever pick a British dude, and that's the handsome of choice. And he's kind of and he's also being very like attentive to her well-being and such. He has all the sort of typical signs of that gallantry stuff. He is suggesting, given that you're both sort of soaking wet to some degree, that you should head, like, the fastest thing to do is to simply come to his home to Bitter End.
Yes, very well. I will come with young Polly here.
Understood. So he kind of ushers you both, and as he actually takes you, he seems to know this brook very well. And he actually will mention to you as you're traveling, kind of continuing along it, you crossed back to the other side. And as you sort of are continuing on this way, he will even mention to you that his manor house, Bitter End, is named, for it is the end of Bitter Brook. That's where Bitter Brook kind of comes to its end.
Oh, I see.
He mentions...
How did it get its name, Bitter Brook?
Oh, I don't believe it's a family name. I'm not entirely sure. Bitter Brook. I'll have him make a history check on that. Where's my guy on history? Nope.
Nope, he doesn't know.
Uncertain. He guides you both on. Polly kind of gives him a look when he's explaining this. Says, is that what you need diving into then? And he'll say, yes, actually. We can discuss that later, he sort of says to her. Make a psychology roll.
73.
He's just too charming. You feel like, is he trying? Is this creepy? Does he not want to talk in front of me? God, this guy's cheekbones are just, you could
Can't read
cut cheese on him. So as you guys continue, it's getting pretty dark at this point. He does take off his sort of jacket and offer it around you, if that will help keep you warm.
Well, I'm not so sensitive to the cold.
You are not, but do you accept it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll accept it.
Puts that on. So now he's in Victorian shirt sleeves and all that, nonsense.
I slide my hands into the pocket.
Ooh, sure.
Fine.
Make a. This is not going to be as hard for you. Let's see. Do you have a sleight of hands or roll? It's only it's pretty low on this.
It's okay.
In that case, make a luck roll. That's what it needs to be.
Luck.
Roll for luck. Let's see if you find anything.
Wait, starting luck 3d6 times 5. Do I need to worry about that?
No, that's just in case you're ever building your own character to tell you how to do it. It's okay. You rolled 60 luck, so you have 60 luck.
36.
36 as it happens.
Which is 13. Oh, no, it's not. I was going to say 13 3 times, that's 39.
Sadly, no. 20, yeah. But you do reach into his pocket with a 36. That's a lucky thing. So, as luck would have it, you do find in one of the inner pockets, kind of, it's, the outer pockets just have nothing of note. But one of the inner pockets has an old key. Definitely some, lock someone in the attic kind of key. It immediately gives,
a bad vibe.
Like a secretive vibe, for sure.
Okay.
It also, this is not a huge thing for you, it is made of cold iron, which doesn't feel great in your hand. There's no damage, there's no...
Right.
It's not that thing, but there's like a discomfort to it.
Okay, I'm not going to draw any attention to it, but can I slip it into... I have a pocket on my dress. Can I take the key?
Pockets on... God, do Victorian dresses ever have pockets on them? Would they ever have given women that much utility? Make a luck roll.
If not, that's fine. I mean, I know it's there. I just I don't trust it. So now I'm like...
Make a luck roll, yeah. Let's see if these happen.
I don't want to steal, but if I'm getting the sense that this is a lock a person in an attic kind of key, I'm looking out for Polly right now.
I get it, yeah, for sure.
6.
6? You are rolling great on your luck. So as it happens, I also just confirmed that it says the excessive amount of material that women's dresses had to be constructed of for, their modesty gave them one huge advantage: pockets. So as it happens, yes, you have many pockets, and because of the convenient location of one of these pockets, I will say that simply looking like you're bundling yourself up, you were able to slip that key out of his interior pocket and into one of your many pockets that is perfectly located without issue.
Excellent.
So you now have a key in your pocket. Great. But eventually, night falls.
Has he been describing what he needs Polly to do yet to her?
No.
Okay.
He is kind of like even maybe indicated to her. He'll talk about that later. Let's just get her wherever. But as night has kind of fallen and you guys get to his house.
Okay.
It is all lit up. It is a very nice, very well kept Tudor house. So kind of that like exposed wood beam architecture. It's kind of like a slightly asymmetrical build. There's kind of like a pretty symmetrical thing on a part of it, and then the house kind of extends in one direction in several levels, kind of with that overhanging architecture that happens. But he sort of ushers you both toward the door, and he will say, "Well, let us try and get you settled as quickly as we can here." And he kind of comes in and kind of sort of calls out. And an elderly butler sort of appears and says, "Sir," he's like, "Yes, we need to see to a room in the servants' quarters for Polly, and then we also need a room for Miss Walsh here, and we also need some women's garments for her. If we could go into the."
Polly should stay with me, perhaps. Do you have any rooms that can accommodate 2 traveling ladies?
Of course. Certainly. He'll kind of Polly kind of gives you a look of like, what? He'll certainly, yes, go right ahead. And the guy sort of just, "Very good, sir." And he kind of calls out for some assistance. And we'll say, he kind of just calls out for various people, and sure enough, a couple of footmen sort of walk over and just kind of, begin escorting you up the stairs. One of the footmen, kind of a particularly lanky guy, sort of sees that you're already soaking wet, and says, "Perhaps we should have a change on the ground floor first, if the lady would prefer."
Yes, I do.
The other one's like, kind of giving a weird look or such, but they sort of like begin moving you to like a different area, and you're just kind of, dripping water all along the stuff. Polly was still being led upstairs, but she's like giving you a look of like, "You need help?"
Yes, actually, these garments are very complicated.
Right then, and she kind of comes. The footman sort of takes the small bag that Polly had and just kind of carries that upstairs. And Polly comes with you, and you guys are kind of just showed into like a sitting room that doesn't really have, the windows. They close some blinds for you, and they kind of just the footman says, "Perhaps you can stand on just here," and kind of like he lights the fire and kind of gets you close to that so you're not on the furniture, and like they go out to find you some clothes. So now you were just sort of alone with Polly, and she's just looking around this like opulent chamber, warming herself by the fire as well.
Wonderful.
Gil could get used to this.
Well, I don't quite believe in the class structure you have here, so every effort we can make to dismantle it, which is why I thought we should be in my company, not in servants' quarters. And anyway, we don't.
I'm grateful.
True intentions, so I don't want you alone.
I'm grateful. She kind of, kind of moves to the fire and kind of wrings out her hair, and just for a split second, man, she's Brona. She's just, you just see that other look kind of back at you, and anytime the two of you maybe were like at a bonfire or saw the flame somewhere, and you saw your sister kind of with the fire behind her, like turning to look at you. And then you hear like a pretty loud sound breaks your reverie as Polly is like blowing her nose, and wringing out her hair and just generally warming herself.
Okay, so I'll change into my new dress. And
yes, a dress is brought for you. There's a knock on the door.
Yes. Yes.
A footman kind of enters, kind of just, carrying like a dress sort of like this, and will say, kind of like holding it up, like you basically just see dress in hands.
Yes.
Is this to your liking?
It's fine. It's fine.
Very
I'm not
good.
very picky. Thank you.
Kind of you are given the dress. Footman kind of quickly turns around and walks out the door, leaving it still open.
Well, I'm gonna close it.
Close it.
All the way.
Polly sort of looks at it. Oh, it's not bad, is it?
No, it's very lovely.
It's nice, and it is actually. It's a sort of like burgundy dress. Looks kind of old. Looks kind of
Do I think is there anything that like looks off or odd about it?
Make a spot hidden roll. Make a glance.
Does it have pockets?
Based on what we've said, it will have pockets. Yes.
95.
You see, it just looks like a nice dress.
Just
Not
a nice
to
dress.
interest. There are pockets that will confirm that because of history. But yeah, so you're able to put that on, and Polly will help you, and often does help to have assistance in these days putting on clothes. About 3 minutes later, there is a knock at the door. You are
I've transferred, by the way, the key from my dress into this dress.
understood. You are not yet.
That was none.
You are not yet clad.
Oh,
But there's a knock at the door.
We're still getting dressed. Just a moment, please.
I'm bringing dresses, milady.
But someone brought me a dress.
Oh, right then.
Well, bring them in. Is there like something I can hide behind as I'm like?
Yeah, sure. Or like Polly can do the like reach, around the door and kind of just takes the dresses and closes it without. The voice talking was that kind of gawkier, kind of taller, kind of slightly goofier one. There's some comedy of manners nonsense of anyway. You bring in dresses. These are 2 nice dresses, not as nice as the one you were given by any means.
Oh, okay. Well, Polly, do you like any of these dresses?
I'm not the kind what wears dresses like this. I need a frock I can take off quick in case I got to go diving.
Well, sure, but I don't think you'll be diving this evening.
I'm not supposed to dive after dark. That's true.
So why not wear a nice dress?
All right. Should I wear the sort of umber or the sort of grey?
Which one do you like more?
Yep. I like the.
Do you like this one more? If you want, you can wear. I'll wear the other one.
No, you look nice in that one. I'll just wear the umber. That seems to be. Why don't you roll a? God, what would be accurate fashion sense roll?
Let's see.
You know what? I'll just put this to you. She has orange hair.
Okay. There's like an amber one and a gray one.
Umber, which
Umber?
would be like, yeah, she just talks weird. So it's kind of like that, like kind of like dark brown, reddish brown.
Oh. Well, I think the gray would be very flattering with your hair.
Okay. That she just sets the umber down like it's on fire, and she takes
They're
the
both
umber.
good choices. If you like the umber more, you should wear it.
No, I go with the gray. That sounds. I'm happy with that.
Okay. Well, good. You deserve to get to wear a lovely dress.
Okay. So you guys are able to dress yourselves without any issue. And you look nice. It's I would say that the sort of it's both upgrades. The gray dress is like on a par with whatever you had just been wearing.
Okay.
And you guys can put your other clothes kind of close to the fire in here, and they'll warm pretty well. So yes, you have done this. This room has a lot of like very nice paintings and decorations and things. It's opulent.
Can I do a look around?
Sure, do a spot hidden just as you look at all the paintings in this chamber. And let me see what the hell
8.
8?
Isn't anything, yeah.
Jesus, you are rolling so low all the time.
Not all the time. They're either high or low.
Yeah, you're never in the normal zone.
96 or 8.
Uh,
never roll like in the middle.
Let's see. There is an interesting painting that kind of attracts your eye. Something about it tingles.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just
Tingles
like
what?
that sense you have, that dread, that mythos, these things that you know you're not sure about. But there's this painting, and it is of a rather sort of sere gray landscape, and it depicts a black horse. The horse sort of just stands there, darkly, menacingly. Mane
The black
kind of...
horse an omen of anything?
Make a... I will let you make either an occult check or a dread mythos check. One is kind of for just general knowledge of black horses being omens. The other is...
I'll do occult and
occult,
see if
cool.
I recognize the horse
Understood.
being anything.
Sounds good.
Well, I rolled a 5.
5? Wow. So for your occult, that is not... okay, I'll say this for you. Because your occult score is what?
20.
All right.
So it's a... Wait, there's a regular, then there's a hard, there's an extreme, right?
If you would like to spend
it's a hard
one
success.
luck, and because you've made some luck checks, you actually do get to roll to improve your luck potentially. If you would like to spend 1 luck, you could turn this into an extreme success of the occult.
So spending 1 luck means what? It knocks me down to 59? Or...
Spending 1 luck means your luck score is now 59, but you
Okay.
you achieve this one as an extreme success.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I would say in general you guys should, because the more you use luck, the more opportunities you'll have to get it back. So, very good. You do not, however, get to click your occult box for this because you've used luck to succeed. But you, as luck would have it, you were just reading about this. This is the depiction, without question, of a Kelpie. The way this has been drawn, this is not any black horse. This is it's hidden from the viewer. It's like intentionally, but there's all these other signs around. There's faintly beaded moisture all over the beast as if it had been below the water. There are wet footsteps leading towards it, but unless you were really seeking them out, it would just look like they were kind of dug into the terrain. And you can see in the back what looked just like more hillside with some very subtle details of a reflection of the sky above is in fact an extremely placid lake behind it. You can tell just based, but also there's just something about the kind of slightly more elongated face of it. But you kind of, as you look this over, you are sure that this is a Kelpie.
So that makes me uneasy. Polly, are you familiar with this animal?
I'm familiar with an horse.
It's not a horse.
Taint?
No.
I'm it's a pony?
No. Are you familiar with Kelpies?
A 1. She rolls a critical success.
Nice.
I'm familiar with Kelpies, yeah. I'm a diver, so yeah.
Right, I thought you might be.
Yeah, I know
That is a Kelpie.
I mean, a Kelpie is an horse, but it
Right.
changes.
It's a little odd for there to be a painting of a Kelpie, don't you think?
Miss, I'm not sure it is a painting of a Kelpie, but if you say so, it is. Yeah, but it's not dragging anyone anywhere. So that's good.
No, but I think maybe it would be best for us to be a little bit on guard here. It's a bit odd, right?
Yeah, if it is a Kelpie, it's odd. But if it's an horse, it's also odd. It's an odd horse. It's
still a little unsettling, right?
Yeah. It definitely seems like this painting is not like in the position of utmost importance in the room, but it's certainly the most interesting, especially to your sort of eyes. And there's kind of a she's like, "Ooh, I'm always afraid of Kelpies, but not for real because they're not real, but I was afraid of them as a girl. I were."
There are other water creatures you're afraid of?
Oh, sure. Sharks, eels. I mean, anything that can bite, you know.
What about fantastical ones?
Let's see. Well, up north they got the Selkie, don't they?
Yes, they do.
And then, in the west they got the Marrow.
Mm-hmm.
And, then fantastical ones. Oh, and then there's the sea lion, isn't it?
Oh, the sea lion's a real creature, yeah.
Oh. But no, the one that has the one that's it is a lion though, innit? Not the maybe they're real. I don't know. Maybe they're all real.
Well, I rather believe in all of them.
Oh, so you think that is
that is a Kelpie.
Oh, right. Oof. A knock on the door.
Yes, hello. We're changed.
The door opens and that sort of footman comes in and goes, I'm to take you if you're or you can I'm to take you upstairs if you wanted, but his lordship is in or is the young master is in the drawing room.
Does he wish to see us? Is he going to elaborate more on
he told me I was to sort of just be welcoming to you if you want to, but to let you do as you please. Oh, forgive me. Are you needing food?
Polly, are you hungry?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Then is your master eating or?
I'll inform the kitchens. And he kind of goes out.
Okay.
And he'll just inform the kitchens. But the door is open. You guys can
go out. I guess we'll. Polly, do you want to go find out exactly what we are here for exactly, so we can rest easy?
Yeah, that sounds all right. So she'll just kind of, you guys go out, and this guy, as he sees you, kind of just points to sort of the drawing room down the way.
Right.
The door's open. Another fire is roaring in here. You do notice that as you step in, this gentleman, kind of Craven Gate, Ulysses, he's swapped out his kind of like out on the town jacket for kind of a more like a sort of fancier, kind of evening in jacket, has a cravat or whatever on. He's sort of standing Byronically by the fire, just kind of doing that. He has he has a glass of sherry in his hand. He spins around, and upon seeing you, Siobhan,
yes,
he lets go, and kind of like you can see it almost in slow motion. the glass falls.
Uh,
Shattering.
Are you all right?
What are you, where were you given that dress?
Your footman brought it to me.
Forgive me, I'm sorry, you startled me, that's all. You look lovely. Please have a seat, both of you. Polly, you look lovely as well. I'm wearing, the grey dress, is that alright? I'm not,
It's all perfectly all right. You don't need his permission.
Of course, yes. Please have a seat. He kind of gestures to two of the chairs. He has a real, like...
Are you all right?
Yes, forgive me. I'm actually gonna make him roll for this. Ooh! If you'll excuse me a moment, and he kind of goes out, just storms out of the room.
Okay, that was rather rude.
Maybe his stomach's upset.
Well, then I guess we'd think twice about eating the food here.
Nah, I'm still gonna eat it. I bet it's good.
Well, while he's gone, can I take a look around the room?
Sure, you stand up. The most, no roll required on this. Go ahead and do a spot hidden. But no roll required on the main feature.
Oh, 39. There, I rolled something that wasn't...
What is that below?
Spot hidden, that's not, it's above it.
Okay,
So.
so you kind of look around, and there's interesting stuff, but what is extremely notable in this room is that over that fireplace is a taxidermied stag head mounted on the wall. It is humongous. The antlers are the wingspan of these antlers is crazy. For a second, you wonder if this thing could even be real.
Polly, is that normal for a size of one of these creatures?
Nah.
It's a bit unsettling, isn't it?
He's big.
Maybe he's compensating for something.
For what?
Oh, well, you know.
His nose?
Yes, among other things.
Ah. Oh! Oh. Oh. That would be disappointing, though, wouldn't it? It's rather nice looking otherwise.
Yes, well, the nice looking ones are the ones you have to look out for the most.
He sort of steps back in. Forgive me. Siobhan, do you recall...
You're all right.
You are wearing a garment that belonged to someone who is, that was not among the items that I instructed them to look through. That is all. I'm certainly not upset with you. I was just quite startled when I saw you. Do you know which of the footmen brought that to you?
Gangly fellow?
It was him. He said he did not. He kind of turns back around.
I may be mistaken. They all blend in. I'm not sure.
Polly will sort of mention and say, I'm thinking that was the first one though. It wasn't him. He came in with the one I'm wearing and a number one.
Well then, I don't know. We just don't know. I'm sorry.
It was another one. Polly will sort of describe him to the guy, but her description is pretty nondescript. He's just he looked average height, average build, had dark hair.
Unsure. Perhaps they're all a bit overworked and need a day off, and maybe made a mistake as a result.
A drink? He walks back over to the the bar and pours himself another sherry. Paulie says, I'm probably better served if I keep my wits about me, but yeah, all right. And he pours her a sherry.
Polly, are you accustomed to drinking?
And she...
I know your brother got into a bit of trouble.
She just kicks it back like it's water.
Ah, okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's fine. It doesn't sting at all on the way down. He kind of... just so, pours it for her.
I'll have one, I suppose.
He pours it. He brings it to you. He hands it to you. Sits down. So, Sean, where are your friends?
They're back at the inn still.
Ah, well.
I needed to step away and get some air, and then wandered upon poor Polly here. Well, I say poor Polly. Poor Polly, because I gave her quite a fright.
She did.
Found her.
I was very startled. She was grabbing me, trying to hold on to me under the water.
I thought she was in distress and rushed to her aid. But that was my foolish
Polly,
foolish behavior.
I was looking for you. You did not show up to our appointed time for our meeting. Polly's like, I know, I'm sorry, I got a bit turned around, and sometimes I want to go and have a tink in the water, you know. Just so, well, there's a pool behind the estate. I was hoping you might be able to perhaps you can have a long think down there while looking around for some things. But we can discuss that at a later point. For now, we shall have dinner soon. Siobhan, perhaps you can tell me more about... the flower. Did you wish to see the flower?
Or
would you rather wait until your friends are here?
I think perhaps we'll wait till my friends catch up with us, but...
Of course.
I was a bit curious what you wanted with Polly here. We've become quite intimately acquainted since I scared her and tried to save her life when she didn't need it. Now I guess my curiosity is tickled.
I just need to help. In the pool.
In the pool?
Yes, behind the estate, there is a very deep pool. And
man-made pool, or it's a...
Well, it is the sort of the lake, as it were, that's the
yes.
bitter end, the bitter brook ends in giving us our name. There are some things that have been lost within it, and amateur divers have not been able to recover what is there, so...
I'm a bit unnerved by a body of water whose name is the bitter end, and things going missing in it.
I won't lie to you, Polly, it's some of the things you might find down there are grisly.
Grizzly how?
Yeah, grisly how. Well...
I like how she seems excited by it.
There may be corpses down below.
How many corpses? Corpses plural?
Well, it's been in a state for a while. But there are things. It's a very, very deep pool. It seems deeper than it should be. And unfortunately, Polly, I was told in correspondence, I believe with your father, that you were quite adept at this. One of the items that I would be hoping, I will offer you a specific reward for specific items that you might be able to find under the pool. You can stay here as long as you require. We will feed you. For each item you find in the pool, I can pay you a certain amount. Pounds. Some of the items with the highest value are on the corpses, if you understand.
Oh, that's fine. I don't salvage.
You're sending her grave robbing, essentially.
No, not grave robbing.
Well, they're in the water and they're dead, and that's rather their grave. So, in a sense, it's grave robbing.
Well, I'm sorry, Siobhan, this is not necessarily the business I was hoping to conduct with you and your friends. This is a family matter.
Just making sure Polly knows. I'm
I'm
sure
fine.
there's some
No,
lore around
I'm fine.
taking things off of a corpse.
Oh, that's true. That might be bad luck. I'm used to sort of, I done salvage. Like, shipwrecks to, like, so it's not, I've handled bodies. If they're old, there won't be naught but, skeletons and bones, so that's fine. There you have it. She seems unbothered at the prospect, Siobhan, although you mentioning that maybe it's like a creepy, like, you suggesting there's bad luck, she seems a little worried about that, but primarily she's like, you suspect she's gone down and taken stuff off of bodies on shipwrecks before, so,
Okay.
it's one of the main things free divers of this time would have been sort of hired to do.
Yeah.
But he's like, we can go over that list at another point. If you don't mind, ladies, I probably will not be joining you for dinner. I'm a bit tired and, forgive me. I hope that everything is to your liking. And Siobhan, whenever your friends arrive, I'll be happy to show you. I'll have word sent to the village that you are here, and, whenever they arrive, I'll be happy to show you
The flower.
the flower. He's
Well,
really
I'm curious
like...
about the pool as well.
You can go and look at it if you like.
I mean, I don't think we'll be doing any diving this evening, but we can certainly take a look.
It's too dark this evening, yeah. He says, it is on the sort of northwestern edge of the property, if you'd like to go and see it. If there's any moonlight, it might be quite picturesque. Siobhan, you notice he's really, like, not looking at you. He kind of, like, gives you a sharp look every now and again, but he's kind of doing that thing where he's, like, talking to you without making any eye contact.
Are you okay? Am I offending you?
No, you're not. Forgive me. I would appreciate it potentially if tomorrow you were in. We could perhaps find another wardrobe.
Do you want me
for
to change?
I would appreciate it, but don't trouble yourself with it now. I will see you both on the morrow. And he kind of walks out of the room. Siobhan, interestingly, or somewhat expectedly, as he kind of sets his sherry glass down, and he passes along the mirror there. It's not his face that kind of is seen in the mirror. It's the face of Fergus, who looks right at you and just gives you just walks out.
Can I?
Go ahead.
I have to hold myself back from flinging my glass at the mirror.
You know what? Yeah, let's do that. Make a, I like that. Make a power roll.
Okay. I'm doing it. That is 69.
All right. So, what is your power score?
Nice. What is my power score?
Nice.
60.
60. If you would like to spend 9 of your luck, you will not throw it.
No.
You're
I'm
fine.
gonna
Sure.
throw it.
She throws it, and Polly's like, you hear footsteps stopping in the hallway for a moment, and then carry on.
I'm sorry, Polly. There was a bee.
Was there?
Yes, there was a bee. It's gone now.
All right. She kind of looks around for the bee for a second, kind of just while over there, just, gives herself another glass.
Right.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine. I wonder why this dress disturbed.
Oh, I don't know. He said it belonged to someone who.
I know.
Nothing else.
Who passed on, or? Yes, we're all seeing ghosts this evening.
Are you seeing? I'm not seeing ghosts. Are you seeing ghosts?
Well, apparitions, hallucinations, mistaking people for other people.
Right. I don't know that I've done that.
Okay,
It's fine.
well,
I'm fine.
not
It's fine.
But,
In any case, you are taken to a dinner.
Okay.
The food is good. Polly is interesting company. She's definitely enjoying what she's being given, and it's certainly much nicer given your presence. Is there anything else you want to do before you guys are sort of led up to the room you're being given?
I think we were gonna go look at the lake.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
So you guys.
We won't dive in it, but we can at least get a sense of what it looks like.
Sure. You guys step out into the lake. I gotta roll for moonlight. Ooh, yeah. As you guys step out, almost as if on cue, the clouds part and like a beam of moonlight goes onto the pool. It's a pretty large body of water, like for kind of an area, and you can see the brook leading onto it. And it seems to also, kind of like you're in a spot where like the level is a little lower, so it sort of fills in here and goes off in different directions. But for here, it kind of has settled, and according to Ulysses, it settled very deeply. It doesn't look like it should be incredibly deep, but it's dark water, and the ripples on it are just bright white. And Siobhan, I will say in general, it would be a very nice place to just like dip for a while, If it really is as deep as he's saying, it might be everything you'd hope for.
A very nice place.
Siobhan, you sort of look at the water. The center of it. Really, it's just like an absolute silhouette, but a head. Kind of long hair trailing down on either side. You can't really tell the color from this distance. Just stares at you for a while. Feminine. Familiar. But you can feel the eyes right on your own.
Can I close my eyes again and open them and see if it's still there?
Sure. You close your eyes for a while. It is not there. Instead, you see like some movement in the waves as like a large fishtail just up over the water before slipping below.
Can I tell if it's real or not?
Make another reality check. Sanity.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright. The sanity roll. We got... What did I get? Oh shit. I got a 67.
Would you... Now, if you want to, you can spend... Actually, wait. I'm not sure if you can spend luck on sanity rolls.
Oh no.
You may not be able to...
Oh no.
You may just be out of...
Siobhan is gonna start going crazy.
Yes. Spending luck. Sorry, guys. It's a slightly more complicated system, and I don't know all the rules.
It's okay. No rush.
They may not be spent on sanity rolls.
Okay.
So, please lose 1 sanity from your total.
Okay.
And roll a spot hidden check.
Oh boy, come on, guys. Oh no.
What do we got?
59.
59, yeah. You think that is real. You are pretty sure, based on the fact that you opened your eyes again and saw like a tail go in.
Holly, did you see that?
See what?
There was a tail in the water.
No, I might have been looking at the wrong place. I didn't. She's now like peering out, and she's kind of like pointing, like not exactly where you were. She's like, there.
In the water, there was a face and then a tail, like a human face and a tail.
I didn't. Are these one? No. Are these one of your apparitions?
No. This time it was definitely real.
Okay.
Are we? I think I have to go in.
Oh. It's very dark. You may not know how to. It seems like you know how to swim, alright, but it's very dark.
I won't have any trouble navigating the water.
Okay. So, you want me to come? You want me to dive in the dark?
Can you just stay on the shore and don't tell anyone that I've gone in. Just wait for me here.
Okay.
I don't think it would be safe for you to get into the water.
I don't think it would be safe for you to get into the water.
I should be able to see in the water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, yes, if.
Yes, if. If I...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I can do that once I'm in the water.
Sure.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, I'll be fine.
You won't, but okay. I'm only gonna wait. You can probably, you're sort of not a diver. You can probably hold your breath, what, like 5 minutes?
I'll be fine. I just,
Actually, Siobhan, you might have poor frame of reference for this too. That probably doesn't sound wrong to you either. I'll wait 5 minutes. But if you're not up, I'm coming in.
I don't know if it will be safe for you to get in, and I would feel awful if anything happened to you.
It's not safe for you to get...
I'll be fine, Holly.
Make a, persuade or a charm. I will say charm will be a hard success.
Charm will be a hard success.
Charm to be a hard success. It's still better for you than persuade.
Yeah, what's persuade? I can't even find persuade right now.
Persuade is
yeah.
You have it.
Okay.
Yeah, so do a charm, but it is a hard roll.
Okay. And that was a 38, so I did not charm her.
Okay, so you have two options here. You can either spend 15 luck, or you can push... Actually, you have 3 options. You can spend 15 luck, you can push the roll and re-roll, it's still a 1 in 4 chance, not great, or you can scroll all the way down on your page.
Oh, right, I forgot. Okay, yes, I will do that. Command of the Depths.
I would do that or Enthrall. Enthrall would last longer.
Okay. Yeah, I will enthrall.
All right. So you begin speaking to her, sort of. You've tried to persuade her. It was a good persuasion, but she needed a lot for you to do this. But now you are basically sort of calmly talking to her about how you're going to be okay. You begin repeating it almost as a mantra. What are you saying?
I will be fine. You are going to simply wait here and go get help if I alert you to anything that needs help.
Okay.
You are not going to follow any man anywhere.
At this moment, something changes in her eyes. We need to make an opposed power roll. So please roll for power.
I roll for power and then she rolls?
Mm-hmm.
84.
84. So that is a failure. Do you want to push it?
Oh, that's right, because it's the opposite. I'm like, oh yeah, I rolled high.
You want to push it?
Yeah, I'll push it.
Go ahead and push it. So you're really doubling down. Now you know that when you do a spell like this, it can backfire if you fail again.
48.
But a 48, you dig down. That for you is that would be a regular success for you, but she has also rolled a regular success. That means, what is your power score? The higher power score wins. 60, right?
Yeah, 60.
You beat her 50.
Okay.
So, first of all, please roll 2d6.
Right.
So suddenly your sanity begins to slip as you enthrall this girl into telling her to let you alone on the shore.
7.
So reduce your sanity by 7. You also need to lose 2 magic points.
Okay.
However, because you just succeeded on a power roll, please roll a d100.
Okay.
You get to do this immediately. You're going to try to roll to increase your power permanently. So roll a d100.
64.
You have rolled over your power. This is the only time in the game where you want to do that. So congratulations, roll a d10.
This has been such a stressful set of rolls.
This is very
This was
stressful.
just so you could try to get a 13, wasn't it?
I mean, I would love a 13 in here at some point, but it's never going to happen in this game.
6.
6. So your power goes up by 6.
Awesome.
Well done. Now, this girl is enthralled, and she is standing. She's doing exactly what you've told her, just to stay here. Her eyes are like, she's just kind of staring into nothing. Just nodding. She will do what you've told her. She will stay here on the shore. And she is basically going to be in this trance until you let her out of it, or until she like receives physical harm or someone like really traumatizes her. So,
All right, with her set, I'm going to go jump into the water.
are you going to take off this dress, or are you going to...
Can I get out of it? I guess I'll get out of it. If I can get out of it easily, yeah, I'll get out of the dress.
It's usually easy to take them off than on, so you kind of take the dress off. You've got a slip on or whatever, underneath. You can, you just get into the water.
Adjust my cap
Okay.
and dive into the water.
You dive into the water. You're swimming. It's pitch black. You can't really see anything. You're swimming quickly, but,
So, like, I can't see anything?
no. Are you going to remove...
Well, I don't have to, I think I don't remove it in order to do that. I just transform. This is what...
Oh, that's what allows you the other thing.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So you can, like...
If you take it off on land, then you can't get back in the water.
Oh. I think
Yeah.
I had it backwards. Understood.
It's okay.
So you can adjust it very well. So you're under the water, and sure enough, the dark tarn that you've dove into here sort of reveals itself. And you can feel... you just feel your body changing. You feel more at home. You take a deep breath in through the gills. You feel your legs reconsolidating. And now you can swim like a motherfucker. So you're going to look around. Make a let's do a tracking check here in the water.
And now in my marrow form. Okay, track. For anyone who missed it. Oh, 3.
3.
Yes.
Well
that's a hard
done.
success.
A hard success, in fact. So yes, you do, in fact, begin going through, and you see kind of like still rising a constellation of bubbles that you can tell would have been made by something diving, and you know that there's something there. So you begin down, deeper. Sure enough, this pool, like the earth is cracked at the center of it, thick, rocky formations. It becomes pitch black below. Your eyes can still penetrate in this darkness, and you swim down and down and down. You do see there is a body on one side, kind of halfway down this dark crevasse, wearing a there's not much left of a woman, but it's wearing like a nice sort of like a nightgown of some kind. There's a necklace hanging around the neck, kind of floating in the waves. Most of the flesh has been eaten by predators or just the erosion of the water. The head of it kind of lolls towards you for a moment. Eyeless.
Do I recognize anything about this woman? The necklace? Anything?
Make a spot hidden roll.
16. Is that,
16 is good.
Yes.
The only thing I'll say that if you kind of like look sort of closely, it appears that the dress she's wearing is of similar make and style to the burgundy one.
She's not my sister.
This is not your sister. But then a voice from deeper says, Siobhan.
Rona?
Siobhan?
Rona, is that you?
Yes, I'm here.
Where?
I'm all alone.
Where are you? I can't. Where?
I'm deeper.
Why won't you come up?
I'm alone.
I thought you were dead. I'm very confused.
Siobhan.
Can I swim towards the voice?
You swim deeper.
So unwise.
The rocks are getting more treacherous. Whatever part of you still has an ounce of, like, bandwidth to consider Polly, you're like, this is gonna get rough on her down here. Because, like, you're spotting things that even in broad daylight, it's gonna be hard for her to see anything down this low. And, like, I mean, there's a lot of stuff seems to have been deposited down along these rocks, but you're going deeper. They're beginning to like scrape against you here or there, even tearing what remains of your, and you know, your dress, because it was just a dress, your tail is sticking out the back as you sort of flip, and the dress is getting torn up here or there, your slip, but you manage to go down, and you do see kind of in the dark there, kind of like red hair. Siobhan.
Rona?
He wants to know why you're looking.
Why I'm looking for what? Who wants to know?
Are you going closer to her?
Yeah.
He
I
wants
thought you were dead.
Siobhan. Siobhan.
What? Why are you down here? Why didn't you come home?
I'm alone. I'm alone.
But you don't have to be.
I don't want to be.
Why didn't you come home? What are you doing down here? I thought you were dead. I thought Fergus killed you.
He did? Fergus killed me, then he killed himself?
But then how are you here?
Siobhan. I'm not. You're alone.
Then what am I hearing?
She kind of leans close to you, and she just says, him. And as she leans, like her face, the living image of her contorts to that dead image that you were shown.
Oh.
And there's no longer a hat on her head, and she is just like a lifeless, just like any land-dwelling person would be. Siobhan, I need you to make a sanity roll.
Did not do well. I got a 91.
91, yes, all right. So, you lose 4 more sanity. And then we are going to have we'll do the full effects of this time. So I need you to first roll for me. Could you please roll a d10 as your sister's kind of lifeless and sort of human-seeming body? 9. Oh, perfect. Okay, roll a d100.
Know what I'm rolling for? I don't know what's good or bad. I rolled a 55, almost dead center.
55. All right, so you have a persistent monophobia. You know this. You're afraid of being alone, and you now know that you are down at the bottom of this lake, alone. And your sister's not even here. Her body's not even here. You're just being shown this. But you now are going to develop, for a time, perhaps permanently, I believe it is pronounced Ligyrophobia. Ligyrophobia. Ligyrophobia, the fear of loud noises.
Oh, no.
And almost as if, like, understanding this fear on you, you are suddenly besieged by the loudest, like, most ferocious, like, roaring surf as you're being flipped around. I need you to roll a hard success on a swim check.
Oh, boy.
You're very good at swimming, but
Yes.
this will be a hard success.
Hard is hard. Oh, yay, 16.
So you manage to, I mean, you're
That's an extreme success.
it is an extreme success. So yeah, you take no damage, you're not being buffeted, but you hear this and it's terrifying. Go ahead and make another sanity roll. As this screaming sound is around you.
8.
8. You manage to keep yourself from kind of descending into total mania down here. And there's this darkness, and then you're kind of scrunching your eyes, and you're just trying to cover your ears, and then it stops. And it's odd because you're just dry. You feel yourself lying on
Ground.
solid ground. And a voice says to you, not aloud, but in your mind, don't turn around.
Am I facing the water or away from it?
You don't see any water. You basically just see, like, gray, but you can feel you're on something solid. And then you hear clop, 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 clop. Getting closer. There's something behind you. You feel something leaning down, and then you feel this burst of just, like, hot air on your neck.
What?
Don't turn around. I do not yet permit you to look upon me. Why are you seeking knowledge you should not?
I was just trying to find my sister.
No. You're trying to find more than that. It gets so close. You can feel this bestial thing. This animal right behind you. And though it's not speaking aloud, it's like the voice in your head is even louder. And it simply says, "What is my name?"
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a Dread Mythos check.
Okay. This is a very hard check for me.
It's a hard check for you. You're the only one who even can make it.
Rolled a 12.
That is your score.
Yes.
So there is a
there's a word that has come up a lot in your studies, and it's been referred to very, 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 like, obliquely. Very, very, very kind of uncertainly. And you suspect that the term you know is not the full name, but it's the closest. And if you are talking to something that is incredibly powerful and incredibly strong and incredibly in control, you believe that this is the Phantom. That's the word you know. You're sure that's not the whole name, but it's the word you've heard.
Are you the Phantom?
You want knowledge?
Yes.
If you survive, you can have it. You feel a jolt in your back.
Oh no.
I need you
Oh no.
to please make an intelligence roll.
Should have turned around.
Intellect. That would not have gone well.
Okay. Alright.
So an intellect roll.
Intellect. Alright. Not so bad.
Yeah.
Almost 50-50. Alright. I rolled a 52.
52. That's also a multiple of 13. I should probably here on the 26th session have been doing things that are multiples of 13, but I haven't been. With a 52, just under it.
Just under.
You receive your mind. It is not pain in your soul. It is not pain in your it is like not pain in your body, but it is this pain in your brain as things are being given to you. It's not learning from a book. It's not kind of like in intellectual exercise. This is something older. This is some different way of transferring information, painful and dark. I need you to roll 3d6.
Boy. What have I gotten myself into?
12. You may increase your Dread Mythos score by 12.
Yay!
The Phantom is showing you things. So that doubles it. And now, because you just gained 12 points of Dread Mythos, I think I've mentioned this, but you may not know that this is the rule. Please lower your sanity by 12.
What?
Every point you gain in the Mythos is a point you lose in sanity.
Oh my god.
And though there are ways to repair your sanity, you're far from them.
I'm down to 36, folks.
Yay! Oh, Siobhan. You're learning things, though. You now have a 24 in that skill. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
Siobhan, you understand this, and you, like, gasp, kind of like for air, and find water filling your gills. And you're just floating in the dark, completely alone. And it's eerie. There's no Brona. There's no Phantom behind you. You're down at the bottom of a deep, dark lake.
I am gonna swim right back up and get out of here.
You swim right back up. You get out of there. You're, at this point, like, you still have your slip on, but it is, like, getting torn to shreds on these rocks.
It's fine.
You surface. You peer back at the shore. You do not see... Actually, make a spot hidden roll.
29. I think I would know what my spot hidden is by now. 28.
Oh,
Just over it.
you want to spend a luck?
Yeah, let's spend a luck.
Understood.
I'm so close.
So you do not, with that luck, so you don't see Polly on the shore, but you do see signs of, like, not really a struggle, but like signs of some activity. You also notice that your dress
is gone. For the moment, you're still alone. And then you hear voices like indoors. Lord, what are you doing at this point?
I mean, I would be yelling for Polly.
Okay, the fact that you're calling out, are you making any adjustments or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm.
You're.
Happen.
You feel yourself.
Am I at least covered? Am I?
Oh, I mean, it's going to be quite scandalous. But I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, it's intact. It's just all shredded up and monster movie-esque. But you make that, and you feel your just body just split apart in the lower half. But you actually hear like voices calling. The fact that you're calling, Craven Gate rushes out. He's got like a torch, and he's actually now like. He's half stripped down and he's running out and he sees you in the water and there's just this look of like exasperation on his face. What do you do? Are you all right? He wades out into the water a little bit.
I'm fine. You didn't have to get into the water. I'm fine. Polly is missing. Do you know where is she with you?
She was taken inside. She was catatonic. She was standing here dumbly, she wouldn't say anything. We're trying to calm her down. We're trying to rouse her. What happened? How did you go into the water?
I thought I saw something in the water, and I thought I saw someone calling for help.
He's basically like pulling you, like he's. I mean, you can decline
I'll
it.
Go out.
He's pulling you out of the water and seeing you're all torn up and kind of, diverting his eyes a bit.
I thought I saw someone calling for help in the water. I asked Polly to stand there and keep watch. I don't know.
Well, please come in. You're soaking wet. And he reaches to take off his coat. He's not wearing it. He just kind of, storms into the house. You hear some rustling. He like grabs some coat and like kind of just tosses it to you, roughly. He's really averting his eyes from you. But he's got a torch and he was rushing out to try to rescue you from a thing. But in any case, if you go in, you do see that like Polly, they're giving Polly some brandy and she's like, I'm not entirely sure what happened. I was something I don't know what came over me. I thought maybe I was drunker than I thought. And just Craven Gate's like, are you both quite all right?
Yes. Did you remove my dress when you brought her in?
The gawky one's like, that was, I took that. It was not meant to be in there. You actually hear him sort of, like, Craven gives him a look and he kind of comes over. And he says something kind of softly to Craven Gate. If you want to do a listen roll to kind of hear, you may do so.
Listen. There's so many after them. Oh yeah, there it is. That is a 54.
What is your listen?
60.
Ooh, a 60. Yeah, very good. So you hear him, basically he's sort of mentioning, but you said the key to that wing of the house was in your coat, and we still haven't found it in there. And Craven goes like, so it's missing. That's how someone got it out of there. Something about a key and a wing of a house.
Something missing?
Don't trouble yourself with it.
My dress is missing. Could I just get that dress back? It'll be easy for me to slip into it, and I'll wear something else tomorrow.
Craven Gate just gestures fine and just kind of like, are you both all right? And he just hands his torch to someone and he just storms off, all sexy anger.
Mr. Rochester, man.
But they will bring you that dress back and hand it to you. But you definitely, with your roll, in case it was unclear, you definitely get the sense that the key that you took is the key where someone would have been able to get that dress from in the first place, so they're very confused. But he suspects that key's been lifted, and now he can't off of him, and he just.
And that's how they got the dress. But
Exactly.
I know that that's not how they got the dress because I have the key.
Hey, there's something's weird. In any case, you and a fire is lit. There's no real ladies' maid here. They kind of ask one of like the cook girls to just like ladies' maid for really you, but I guess Polly will get some spillover from some cook assistant girl. But they light a fire for you in your room upstairs and sort of take you up there, and she's going to run a bath, if people need baths. I think this is the time where like they probably will just run one bath and you guys could just like take turns in the same water because the world was gross. Yeah, so they lead you up to a chamber. Is there anything else you're going to do before
I think that's it. I think I've had enough adventure for the evening. I'm a bit shaken.
Understood.
Make sure Polly is all right and let her know that, I just want to make sure she's okay.
Wonderful. Polly is very agitated. She falls asleep almost immediately. Doesn't even take a bath or anything. She dives. She doesn't bathe. So she's kind of in that. There's one giant bed or whatever. So she just kind of falls asleep on the far side, snoring. Roll for apnea. A lot. But you are sort of, you can, if you're ready to go to sleep, you certainly may do so.
Yes, I think I
Understood.
take a bath and take my rest.
You take a bath? Yeah. Wonderful. As you are getting out of the bath, you hear so faintly a tapping at the door.
Who's there?
I just wanted to see if you're all right, if you're still awake.
Yes, I'm fine. I'm about to go to sleep now.
Kind of, through the door. Very good. A good night. Footsteps down the hall. Lantern. Leaving. If you begin to blow out the lanterns, a piece of paper is shoved under the door. Right when you kind of blow out the last lantern, you see just this little strip of like cream-colored paper just slide under the doorway. You hear footsteps in the hall, fading.
Okay. I'll pick up the paper and take a look at it.
Okay. The paper seems to be actually like a couple of years old, but it's a dated memorandum describing that the northwestern wing is hereby locked and inaccessible. No staff are meant to go in there any longer.
Curious. I wonder why this was slipped under the door for me. What's the date on the memorandum?
It's like 4 years ago.
Okay. It's strange. Is there
You see, like, light,
anything
you
else
see.
about it?
Oh, I see. Make a.
Like, I just know that I can't go to that wing, but it's old. Why is someone giving me this paper?
Make a no roll. Just roll your education. Or no, this wouldn't be no. Roll your roll an education check. The standard no roll.
$48.
48 is under your education. Yeah, you're not really sure why you're being given this, but you definitely know that they were just talking about a wing being closed. Like Craven Gate was talking to his lanky footman, who was referencing to the key that locks up that whole wing where that dress would have been found from.
curious about the wing.
Indeed. But you're also probably tired and feeling a little unsettled.
Yes, I'll file that away, and hopefully my friends will be here in the morning.
Indeed. Hopefully that judge's back is okay by then. So, as you go into your kind of the bed, the last little lantern there, you can blow that out and lay down. The voices you've heard and the faces you've seen today, when you close your eyes, they're there. But sleep comes sooner than you think it might. And your dreams are of a red-headed girl you knew a long time ago. Hair behind her as you dive deeper and deeper off the western shores. And that is where we'll end tonight's solo session.
Yay! We got through it!
Blood from a Stone. Very good. Very fun. Well, yes, thank you all so much for watching. Liv, excellent. Way to go. I appreciate you anchoring the entire thing.
No, it's fun.
That was a fun one to do for our special multiple of 13. Now listen, everyone. The Dread Clock stands at 4. It can still advance, but it does so much more slowly. We are in a more contemplative, slow-paced, upsetting game. And Siobhan, so far, Siobhan, you lost like
a lot of sanity.
Yeah. What does your sanity start at? Like 60?
Yeah.
Yeah, Siobhan has nearly lost half her sanity in that session. Because when the sanity starts going, what's amazing about it is you have to make more sanity rolls, and your sanity is lower, so it's much harder to pass your sanity rolls.
Yeah.
Oh, let's do something that we never do on stream that I kind of want to. Let's roll your improvements. So, you have checked...
Give me one second.
Of course. I'll do our other spiel for the stuff here. If you like what we did here, check us out on Friday nights for Blood from a Stone. It's a crazy horror game of like a weird mosaic of all sorts of creepy, insane stories about dark and disturbing creatures and domains of dread, some of which use different rule sets. If you like other kinds of storytelling, check us out on Sunday nights for Here Be Dragons, where the heroes are dragons, and that's fun, but also dark. And then check us out on Monday nights for Wellness Beyond the Witchlight, which is fun and sometimes dark, but when it's dark, it's not my fault. It's the players, because I said I wasn't being mean in that one, and so far I've been not mean. And then, follow our channel or subscribe if you have a free one from Amazon Prime if you're linked to Twitch, or just subscribe if you want to. I think somebody just gifted a sub, so thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you, Mountain Twin.
And go check out the About page here on Twitch if you want to find out about more about our wonderful players, including Liv, who was awesome tonight. And then also go to our Discord and follow us on Instagram at LongLostLoreRPG, on Twitter at LongLostLore, and TikTok at LongLostLore.
Follow us on TikTok so we can start doing when we have one-on-one sessions. We can do it through TikTok and Twitch.
Yeah, that seems like a cool, definitely. All right, well, very good. But now we're going to close with a really cool thing in the system that we've kind of mainly been doing off stream. But so the way this game works is that you have a skill. You hear us talking about like rolling below a lot. So you'll have a skill and you want to roll under your target number, and that's a success. The only time you ever want to roll high in this game is here at the end when you get to roll to advance. So let's start with your listen. It's a 60. So basically it's the reverse. If you roll higher than a 60 or higher than whatever your target is, you get to increase by 1d10, but then it becomes harder to ever increase again, which makes sense. The idea is that you're being rewarded for being successful at things, but it gets harder to become just like crazy. So roll.
Yeah, it's like leveling in video games.
Yeah. So roll your listen.
No, I rolled a 2.
2. Sadly, that one doesn't go.
My listen does not improve.
Next up, let's do the spot hidden. You only got to roll over a 28 on this.
Okay. A lot easier.
I feel like spot hidden is the thing that gets rolled so much that probably everyone will at least succeed on one, so like over time you legit can get your spot hidden much higher.
Okay, 38.
38, so please roll a d10.
Great.
4, so increase spot hidden by 4. And then you did succeed on a swim check.
Yes. Oh, I can't.
No, so here's what it is. If you basically get 96 or higher,
Okay.
you do improve this. So you actually can make your skills higher than 100. Which seems like it's silly. It means you basically, like...
59.
It basically means you kind of can't fail at a... unless you ever roll... If you ever roll a 100, that's a critical failure. You fail. But it means you kind of can't fail otherwise at certain things. But it makes your hard and extreme successes even better. Perfect. Now, the last one you get to do, because you did spend some, roll one more D100. Your target is 58. That is your luck score.
Oh, yeah.
So you can, theoretically, improve your luck.
Ooh, I rolled a 66.
Then roll 1d10.
9. Yes.
9. Ooh, great. So you get your luck goes up by a full 9. I strongly will urge any of the players who are watching this, and just I should do this during the game too, you guys should spend your luck somewhat freely because, you know, like, you can regain a good 10 points a session. So, you know, don't be afraid to spend that. So excellent. So very good. So we've got you all statted up with your rolled improvements. So thank you everyone so much for watching. We will see you next time, and until then, have a dreadful night. Ooh, bye-bye. Thank you.